Welcome to NKTelco Sports. We're here at Marion Local High School where the New Bremen Cardinals will take on the Marion Local Flyers. Today's sponsors, the Minster Bank, Schreederman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Hometown Opportunity, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, NKTelco, NKT.TV, BowlerStore.com, Carriage Works, Cy Schreederman Incorporated, Fowler's TV, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, PSG Automotive Outfitters, and the First National Bank. Welcome inside the hangar with the second-ranked New Bremen Cardinals at 18-2 on the year, 6-1 in the MAC. We'll take on the third-ranked Marion Local Flyers. Marion Local at 14-5 overall and 4-2 in the Midwest Athletic Conference. Terrific matchup on tap. You see the New Bremen Cardinals and Coach Diana Kramer in the background warming up, coming off of a win against Lehman Catholic on Tuesday. 25-17, 25-15, 25-19, 36 team kills. That's pretty much the MO for the Cardinals. Get everything done as a team. Marion Local and Erica Schultze on the other side trying to defend the hangar there where they're 4-1 this season. Their only loss came to the number one team in the state of Ohio in St. Henry back on September 6th. They lost 2-0 in the Crestview Invitational Finals on Saturday to Ottawa Glandorf, a team ranked number 2 in Division III. A loss snapped a 4-match win streak. 2 of the top 4 teams in the state just happened to represent the Midwest Athletic Conference, and they are getting ready for their battle coming up here in just minutes when we return to Maria Stein on NKTelco Sports.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier Sofa and Sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back inside the hangars, you see both teams finishing up after the national anthem, getting the starting lineups introduced. We take a look at our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game for today. First, for the visitors in the New Bremen Cardinals, one thing they'll want to do in this ball game is stop the system. And what I mean by that is Marion Local's key is staying in their system in their transition game. And if you can get out and disrupt that, if you're New Bremen, you can do a lot of big things and try to win this matchup. Also, you see, it's not a secret, New Bremen's a very tall team, and they want to be very aggressive at the net, doing a terrific job in the return game and hopefully the attack game for the Cardinals. They finish up on their keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. On the other side for the Marion Local Flyers, coming as the number 3 team in the state, ranked just behind New Bremen, and as one of the top 4 teams in the state, all belonging in the MAC. St. Henry, New Bremen, Marion Local, and Fort Recovery. Their keys to the game: aggressive serving. They want to make sure that they can get out early, put some points up. They've got 157 aces as a team this year, and consistent serve receive. Look at what they have done in the reception game this year. 891 reception chances. They've had just 82 errors. And they've got some young ladies that can get out and do some big things. in that respect as they get ready. I'll tell you their starters in Aubrey Toby, Natalie Rethman, Carrie Fensenmeyer, Elena Pullman, Rachel Partington, Kelsey Canning, and Brooke Homan as we get started here at the hangar. Marion local Flyers, the banners adorning just on the top side of the shot, have won 5 state titles, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2012, and 2013. And the student section featuring apparently superhero or Halloween night. There's a couple of minions up there. There's a panda for some reason. And a couple of bananas. They're into it. That's the important part. New Bremen at 18-2 on the year, 6-1 in the MAC. Marion local at 14-5 and 4-2. New Bremen coming off of a season in which they won the state title in Division 4, beating St. Thomas Aquinas, finished 28-1. But this year sitting just behind St. Henry. 6-1 on the road this year. Marion local at 4-1 at home. St. Henry the common theme, as they were the ones to knock off the Flyers here earlier this season. Teams are ready, and we are ready for this ball game. Kind of one of those games early on in the season where everybody probably put it right on top of the schedule and said this is going to be one of those games that's going to be a big one. Flyers in the blue ready to go as they make their last substitution, bringing the libero in Rachel Partington. Be the Flyers who will get the service first. Good crowd on hand. It is always warm when you come here to the hangar as well. All in the air, and the Cardinals on the return quickly out of the middle row. The reception up off the ceiling. Partington couldn't get to it. And that's that awkward thing about where the basketball nets are. And Bremen takes a 1-0 lead, and they get the side out in the service for the first time. Here you see a look at the First National Bank scoreboard. Marion trying to get back on the return. Cross court just inside for the winner. That is, I believe it was Aubrey Toby with the point. So Marion ties the first set at 1-1. One of these things traditionally when these two teams have hooked up, it's been 4 or 5 set affairs. As the double hit will not only cost the Bremen the ball, it'll cost them a point. So Marion local on top now, 2-1. So go back to do the services. Ball put up in the air by Madison Pape. Down to the floor on the other side and tipped over. Down for the point is Claire Pape, the sophomore. Talked about the height for New Bremen. It came into play there as the set tied now at 2-2. This is pretty much how you'll expect this to go, back and forth between these two teams. These girls see each other a lot, know a lot of what the other wants to do. Is a big setup and a kill for Macy Putoff. It's a terrific setup there for Madison Pape. As you get a look at the Winners Quality Meets replay. Watch where this is set up. Look where Marion local was. Only one player with even a remote chance to get to that. As now the Cardinals on at top 3-2. Sorry, 3-3. That's a replay coming so quickly I missed the next point. And the ace, 158 now on the year, puts the Flyers on top 4-3. As the libero in Partington doing the serving for Marion local. Return back past her and just out on the big cross-court shot for Claire Pape. Didn't miss by much, but just enough that the young man's got to chase it into the hallway. Hopefully they give him some popcorn. Outside at 4 here in set 1. This is what, again, I can't stress enough, this is what you expect when teams these good get together. And the long shot misses in the, well, must have hit just inside the corner. Nice piece of work for Claire Fensenmeyer. Gives Marion a 5-4 lead. Ball back up the net Set on the other side, dinked into the net. Just not high enough on the apex of that jump for Bremen, and the double hits on a Taylor Paul, the junior. 6-4 Marion local, their first 2-point advantage. Last couple of times they've used it to break a tie. Cross court and up off the hands. It's Kelsey Caney who takes the brunt of it. It's the one thing you're going to be able to not have in this game is time to think. As fast as these balls are coming on you, and remember, the key for Marion local was serve reception. They weren't able to get one there as these shots are being dropped at impossible angles right now. Every time I look at it from up here, I think there's no way that's going to land in. These girls are finding a way as the Flyers take a 7-5 first set lead. All back in the air, dinked across again. Marion local does a great job of getting back to it at the net, not being caught off guard. Hardington puts it back up in play. Here's the cross-court shot from Audrey Toby. Aubrey back on the defensive end. Hardington bails her out from behind. Now the big block on the swing for Caitlin Hardings. Here comes the Bremen, swing of their own. It's a little bit of a different team, obviously, this year for New Bremen as they keep this ball alive. It's a big reason why you lose a Division I caliber player, the player of the year, and the young lady holding the record for most kills in a match, playing at the University of Michigan. That'll probably end up happening. Flyers end up with a point off that long rally. Their largest lead now at 8-5. Cross-court shot here as the Flyers, a block at the net. Double block and a point for Marion local, now rolling at 9-5, and they take a timeout. We'll take one with them. Flyers on top by 4. They'll serve when we come back here on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
So Diana Kramer, the coach at New Bremen, knew her girls out of sorts a little bit, needed an opportunity to talk to them. She's done very well. Obviously the state title last year, and good team this year. Their only losses came on September the 29th, 2-0 to Knoxville, and the 13th of September, 3-1 to top-ranked St. Henry. 3 MAC titles, couple of shares, including last season. Flyers rolling into that timeout now. A runner-up in 0-2 to go with all those state titles I talked about in the opening. Marion local with the serve. No problems on the return and no problems on the up and down game for Rachel Kramer. So coming out of the timeout, New Bremen gets the first point to pull within 9-6. And you gotta love that. The senior goes right back to do the serve. This is the long running jump serve. Kind of changes the eye line, makes you wonder where exactly that's gonna go if you're the defensive team. And the block down on the opposite side. It'll be a point for New Bremen. If you get a look at the winner's quality meets replay. Just outside that line again. I said it's a razor thin margin when you look at where these points are coming from. Now 9-7 Marion local, make it 9-8. The net is not always helpful. So Bremen now with 3 straight points coming out of that timeout. See Coach Kramer in the foreground, just stalking back and forth. They'll probably charge her for the path that she's walking. And the double hit on Marion local, making every mistake right now that you can. First tie since 4-4. Third tie of this set. popped up into the air awkwardly, nearly into the student section. Don't believe they're allowed to play one here in this competition. And another point on the kill, and the serve comes right back. Rachel Kramer is going to look at this replay. Just a perfect shot. Trust me, it happened. Right up and down into the corner. Now Bremen takes their first lead in quite some time, actually since 3-2. They've got everything rolling their way right now. As a set and the dink across again forces Marion Local to bail out of their system that I talked about earlier on. Right back over top, and everything is kind of reactionary right now for the Flyers. They're not able to get ahead of a ball, and that's what New Bremen is having a terrific day of, at least early. Really, there you see the block comes right back, and the cross-court shot goes long. It never fails. As soon as you give a team a little bit of, hey, you're doing a good job, goes the other way. Fourth tie of this first set. These two teams have done a lot to other teams, where as the return error now gives the Flyers back-to-back points. They've done a lot to other teams this year where you make them make a couple of mistakes, get in their head, jump out, take that first set lead. It is behooved them on the offensive end, and they've turned it into quick 3-set wins. You don't get the feeling that's what's going to happen here, as both teams have made a handful of mistakes. Now it's the Cardinals who will take the service after Marion Local misses on the return. Just over the top of the net, kind of a defensive swing just to get that one back up there. Cross-court shot from Aubrey Toby. Now returned back just in front of the diving libero in Partington for a New Bremen point. She's going to look at the replay, get a good look at it. Watch, she realizes about right there she's going to have to dive, and it ends up in the curtains. So New Bremen back on top, 12-11. They didn't lead a lot of this early set, but here in the middle of it, they've been able to rip off 7 of the last 9 points. Blocked at the net. Toby tried to regain herself. It's kind of off balance. Her team will put it back across. Dinked in front and up and down for the point. That's what New Bremen is so good at overall, of being able to draw teams out of their positioning. And it's not fancy. Just put it where nobody's at. Flyers up on the return. A big kill right from the middle on that big swing is Brooke Homan. So Homan gives her Flyers their 12th point. Pulls them to within 13-12. Slow line drive for the Flyers. They've been able to get down there and dig it out, but they got caught with a double hit. So now we're tied at 13s. Another tie break here in this first set. Nearly an ace for Marion Local. Able to go with the double block up on that right side. And another mistake. New Bremen with a lot of self-inflicted errors right now. Marion Local takes the lead back at 14-13. All popped up to the left side. Now back across to Partington, the libero for Marion Local, and slam down. Another great stop on the other side for the Cardinals. Tipped again, everybody getting a chance to play one here. Partington digs it back out. One of the leaders in the category for Marion. And back across, ultimately, the double hit of the last 5 points the Cardinals have given to Marion Local. 3 of them have come in that same vein. So 15-13 Marion Local, and a ball that drops just inside for an ace. Makes it a 16-13 lead. As you get a look at the replay, watch how close this is to the back line. Just, if there was chalk there, it would be up in the air right now. Ball blocked across. Now dinked in front of a couple of hands and down on the 4 hits to make it 16-14 at Marion Local. A couple of highlight plays already. Flyers on their return. You see the 2 players in the front row kind of had to bail out to get back to it. The return long, and the Cardinals back within a point now at 16-15. Long running jump serve. Got to see, I was talking about Paige Tobey, who's at Michigan now earlier. Saw her in the tournament last year at Van Wert against Audubon as the point drops just inside the line to tie us here in this set at 16 all. I loved it the first time, being able to see it from a high vantage point. As far as she would throw that ball out in front, I would just marvel at how she was able to go out and get it. And obviously she's special. Not a lot of players being able to do that, but some nice serves here already. Kind of a short version of that. As the cross-court winner, that's pretty much what's happened this entire first set to the first 30 points. Aubrey Tobey with the winner for the Flyers this time. Gives them a 17-16 advantage. Passed out of the back row. Now on the bump back across. Marion resets from the right side. Up on the long run. Rachel Kramer saved it initially, but couldn't get it in front enough that a teammate could do anything with it. Student section's happy. Flyers on top, 18-16. Between them and Sydney last week. You can go back and watch those games. By the way, that game on demand on WSN and on the NKTelco Sports Facebook page and online at nktelco.net. You can see exactly what I was talking about. It was homecoming last week for Sydney, but it's the Flyers who are happy here at home right now on NKTelco Sports.
Our 1,500 square foot showroom and pro shop at bowlerstore.com is stocked with bowling balls, bags, shoes, accessories, and apparel. The pro shop is equipped with 2 drill presses, measuring devices, and bowling ball maintenance machines to keep your ball rolling great. We offer private lessons for individuals and groups. Moxie's Extra Pair inside bowlerstore.com is also available to rent for private events. Be sure to check out bowlerstore.com or visit our pro shop in Versailles, Ohio for all your bowling product needs.
Last time there was a timeout for New Bremen. They came back and it took 5 consecutive points. That was at 9-5. They ultimately ran their lead out to 13-11, but it is Marion Local now who has come back in the last handful of points. They continue to serve with a 19-16 lead. In front of a great crowd. Been ready for high school football this week, week number 7. Amazing, the regular season's nearly over. So 19-16 Flyers make it 19-17. As right down goes Ava Rose. 5'8" senior not able to dig one out. Flyers waiting on the return. Cardinals put it straight into the net on the air. So the first team to 20 is Marion Local. Here the best of 5. Turn deep out of the back row. Everybody waits to figure out exactly where that ball was going to bounce at. Able to get it right back up at the net was Taylor Paul. Kind of a perennial all-conference pick type. Back is Paul, just palmed one across. Wasn't fancy, but it was effective. Now she'll set up for her team to dig one out of the back row and just too long. But tipped by Marion Local, so a point on the board for the Cardinals. They pull within 2 at 20-18. Rachel Kramer will come the length of the gym. On her serve, bumped out by Rachel Partington, back for Marion Local, blocked at the net. It's a terrific double block involving Ashton Heitkamp the junior, getting up and slamming one down. Marion Local with a 1-point lead. So they try to pop one up out of the back row and set to try to get away from that double block. The dink will work. Just that quickly, up and over top of it as you're going to look at the replay. Two players set up in the front, nobody in that middle row able to dive and keep it alive. And it is 21-19. Marion Local trying to take the ever-important first set. Arkansas fights it out of the back row. You see the ball hung in the air so long, that made two different sets of plays on that. One was that Ava Rose had to wait for it to come down. Then it looked like Kelsey Canning lost her feet when she was just trying to get set. Kind of came out from underneath her, and it's 21-20. Flyers again having to go to the floor to dig one out. As the dig game has worked well for them this year. Free ball back over the head, Willie Mays style. And dinked again. How do you beat the double block? With a dink. And that's exactly what Marion Local did here to take a 22-20 lead. That play has worked exactly as it was set up twice now for Marion Local, as they have that 2-point advantage, make it one. Slam, Dundana, right into the corner, just in front of the flag. That's one of those ones you make sure, you only know, I think if you're the flag official, because it didn't hit you. It means it had to have been in. Flyers holding to that 1-point lead is now to Bremen, kind of trying to build some kind of momentum towards the 25th point in this set. But the double block isn't beaten the other way. Up and down, watch the replay as quick as Aleda Pullman and Aubrey Toby collapse. Does that ball down to the floor, and you see the Tiger Woods fist pump as well from Coach Schulte. Terrific athlete in her own right. So but service errors. As quick as Marion Local got to 23-21, they give it right back on the air, and there's the timeout, as we'll take one as well here in set one on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
This first set is coming to an end, but the question is when and who's going to end up on top of it. This is a pair of teams that you don't want to be behind 0-1, as they would say in volleyball. I'd say 1-0, but that's semantics. 23-22 is Marion Local's lead. Here is New Bremen will serve coming out of the timeout. Flyers able to set one back up and get within a point on the quick slam. Terrific job on the return. The reception able to prove fruitful. So 24-22 Marion Local as they've reached set point. See what the Flyers can do. Nearly came off with the ace. Just inside the antenna, returned to the back row on the right side. Flyers with a block, comes down on their side. New Bremen hype right now as they pull back within one at 24-23. Just the height that these girls are able to get. They're all 6 feet tall anyways. But the fact that they're able to get that, and there's the error. That's the story of the first set. Both teams gave away a ton of points. Marion Local takes set one to go up 1-0 at 25-23 here on NKTelco Sports.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield. Why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwiedemann Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
Take your game day party to the next level with a new TV and Sonos sound system from Fowler's TV in St. Mary's. A Sonos sound system takes all the action into every room of your home and outdoors. Break your home into zones and control the content and level right from your phone or tablet, enabling you to enjoy the game, or not, with the touch of a finger. Add a security camera system connected to your TV from Fowler's, and never leave another friend stuck outside in the cold. Fowler's TV, taking game day to the next level.
Back here at the hangar for the start of set number 2, and if it's anything like set 1, we're in for a good one. Marion Local took set number 1, 25-23, as you see there on the scoreboard. This one, both teams trying to, during their timeout, I could hear coaches talking about during the break, stop making errors. 5 or 6 service errors combined in that first set, including the last one that gave Marion Local the clinching point. Now to be the Cardinals who will start with the service. They have to bail out just to keep it alive. Cardinals up at the net. That's what I talked about, winning the attack game at the net, using their height and their strength. Also helps when your opponent doesn't get the ball back over the net. So the same way we started out set number 1. New Bremen with a 1-0 lead. There were 5 ties in the first set. Coming out of a timeout, it was a big advantage for the Cardinals. Now they'll have to try to work here in set number 2. Josie Reinhardt with the cross-court shot. Up and down for the point just inside that back corner. So the Bremen on top, 2-0. Flyers now back on the defensive. Got called for the double hit, so quickly 3-0 right out of the gate. Looking at Division 4. Talked about St. Henry and how they're ranked number 1 in the state. They got 39 out of the 41 first place votes. New Bremen on their return. New Bremen in second place got 1. Marion Local ranked 3rd and now trailing 4-0 here in this first set. Got the other vote. Of course, a couple of teams that will meet Coldwater throughout the course of this year. Coldwater's only loss a year ago coming in the D3 finals. And the return short. And this is not the way Marion Local would like to start, with a 1-0 advantage in sets, coming out down 5-0 here in set 2. Cardinals won last year 3-0. Third win in their last 4 meetings, rather. 1-2, dropped 1 last year. Flyers back up the net from the corner, double block. Able to keep it in play. A little no-look pass across is actually going to be an error on the return. And a quick timeout. 6-0 New Bremen here in set number 2 on NKTelco Sports.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes might be the mantra right now for Marion Local to get a point coming out of this timeout. They've played well. They've had a couple of different passes into the front row, just haven't been able to get it back across and down to the floor. And you see again, the net is the biggest problem. So coming out of that timeout, the streak is not broken into Bremen with a touchdown lead on Marion Local. Flyers waiting for the return. Terrific crowd here at home. Double block works the opposite way than it was intended to this time around. Two players got a hand on it, and because of the rotation, that ball falls to the floor for the first Marion local point. Bremen will pop it up on the return, and quickly the point all out of sorts on that return is Natalie Rethman. Lost her footing. And Bremen back on top by 7, now at 8-1. Big swing almost down to the floor. Flyers able to dig it out and return it back across. Now set at the net. A big right hand long on the return for Macy Putoff. So the Flyers with the service after the side out, down 8-2. You hear the thud in the background of how hard these balls are being hit. None more so than the return here for Claire Pape, the sophomore. On the right side, puts it up and down for point number 9. Bremen with some big swings. Marion local reactionary. Watches the ball fall just inside. You're not supposed to get that kind of spin against your own team here at home. Watch when this ball comes off, spins just inside that line, and the look of despair on the young ladies for Marion local. Down to the floor, not dug out again. And the Cardinals cruising here in set 2 after the ace up 11-2. Service return was a big thing in our Kehoe Pizza Keys to the game for Marion local. It's just simply not working right now, as they are into the net are the Cardinals. So the Flyers get the side out, put a stop to a 4-point run by New Bremen. And the point again going up for the Flyers, so they pick up now just a 7-point disadvantage. Just that quickly, kind of similar to what New Bremen did in set 1. Up off the net, returned, and that play had Flyers written all over it from the start. Just took just enough of a hop on the initial serve that it was going to make for a tough set of returns. So the Flyers now soaring into 4 straight points. Set back at the net, across to the right side, and a terrific shot for Marion local. It's getting up and down on the Winners Quality Meats replay. Watch where this is set. The double blockers come over, and it doesn't seem to matter. I think that was Aubrey Toby for now point number 6 for her team. 4 straight, but the service error makes it 12-6. So all good things come to an end. Bremen built a 6-0 lead here in set 2 before a timeout. They came back out of that, got the first point. Marion local has gotten 6 since that point. Passed into the front row, now out of the middle row. Off the hit, the Flyers try to stay from underneath, kind of doing the limbo, and it cost them. The ball came off awkwardly. Goes for point 13, not lucky in this case, at least not for Marion local. First set, when we got to 13, it was tied at 13, but again, New Bremen has been able to do what they want here. That ball was almost a miss hit. I don't know that it was designed that way, but the return for Taylor Paul was 14-6. Now, as you feel like the way that New Bremen has gone through this set, it's a matter of time before they get to 25, but Marion local doing their best right now as another cross-court winner for Audrey Toby in the back, as Aubrey gets the Winners Quality Meats replay. Just watch how that one was fired. She put everything that she had into that one. So 14-7 as they bring back on the defense. Blocked at the net. They're able to use the system and stay with it. Bumped out Abby Tiemann, and now a point to make it 14-8 as Marion Local gets the side out. So they've broken off now consecutive points to pull within 6. Bremen on the long run. Tried to drop it cross court in the backside. Free ball back across on the high hit in the run. Cardinals able to fight off any double block at the net right now, and that one just kind of lofted back across. We'll try it again. Second time, not as good as the first. Point for the Cardinals. They now lead 15-8. Marion Local with a 25-23 win in set number 1. There you see up on the top side of this shot, the banners that adorn the walls. And a service error again. That has been a big theme through the first set and a half on both sides. Neither team has been exceptionally sharp. There are a couple of aces, but those came during the string. As another service error gives it right back, so we just swap points. 16-9 to Bremen. Cardinals doing the service from the long end of the gym, off to the right side from where we sit here at midcourt. Cardinals with a big pop-up. Oh, and a ball that I don't think played for Josie Reinhardt, a 6-footer, how she thought it was going to. I think she thought that was going to come a little bit closer to where she was on that left side of the net. Just not able to put a hand up on it. And the ace. It's not of spades, but it's for point 11. Dropped inside the back corner again perfectly by Marion Local, and a timeout with a 16-11 lead for the Cardinals here on NKTelco Sports.
Your truck accessory headquarters.
Back here at the hangar in Maria Stein, Flyers trying to get back into this one. Down just 16-11 after trailing at one point 11-3. They now do the service out of the timeout. And Bremen and Coach Kramer wanted to talk about some things. Probably wasn't having that shot blocked right out of the timeout. Dinked at the net again, beat the double block with the dink. That is exactly the mantra for Brooke Holman right now. Gives her team a 16-12 lead to cut into. See on the First National Bank scoreboard, the Flyers lead 1-0. And another ball missing on the service error, so the lead back to 5 after the 3-point run has a stop put to it. A lot of substitutions in the rotations for these teams. Is off the run. The big swing for Brooke Holman was blocked. A cross-court attempt again, just that high from the left side. Up into the net. Now 18-12 is the lead for New Bremen. Set across, dinked again, just in front of that big double block. See the 2 6-footers coming at you. You got to make something happen quick. Up at the net. Oh, up off a couple of different hands. That ball had an odd ending to it. In the Bremen student section, I just noticed, give a replay of every single point. As now a timeout at 19-12. Cardinals on top of the Flyers here on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Marion. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
New Bremen with the serve, leading 19-12 here in set number 2 after falling 25-23 in set 1. Spirited student sections on both sides. The all Cardinal out, I guess you would call it, against the, I'm just going to say Halloween theme, just a couple of weeks early. Bremen back on the attack, down to the floor, and they are the first to 20. Is that point now 20-12? Coach Kramer hoping her troops are able to just keep on and pulling these points out. Double block at the net. Flyers made a good adjustment to get back there and ultimately to get this point. That one is different than what they had happen earlier on, where they would be drawn out of sorts, kind of pulled off to one side. This time they were able to stay with it in the middle, off the redirection. Ball fought off by New Bremen and returned into the crowd for a point. 20-14 now. Again, both teams have done terrific jobs with the serves, but it's been just for a fleeting moment. They've each been their own worst enemy in terms of service errors. As it's now 20-15, 3 straight points. And 3 of 4 coming out of the timeout for the Marion local Flyers. Nearly 4 out of 5 right out of the gate. Free ball back across, set up at the net again, passed off the double block, and down for a point. It is Brooke Homan who's beat that double block a couple of times. She hit that ball so hard that when it comes off 2 different hands, it just spins sideways and doesn't give any other Cardinal an opportunity to get to it. But there is the service error again. Just rearing its ugly head to stop any kind of run. 21-16. See these big slaps that Rachel Kramer puts on the ball. There's not going to be much air in it. Return long and ultimately her first. Actually goes the other way. I didn't see the tip, I'll be honest. 21-17. Marion local gets the ball back out of the side out. Now popped to the net. Here comes the big run from the right side. Rejected right back to wherefore it started. And again, terrific play at the net. I said that was a key for New Bremen in the game earlier on in the opening. Right now, Marion local said, no, I see, Mike Hearn. We can do that too. 21-18. Popped out here for the Cardinals. And they get caught on the double hit. It is 21-19 for the lead. So we'll stay here on this timeout. Take a look at the First National Bank scoreboard. 21-19 in favor of New Bremen. Big thanks to our sponsors in Francis Furniture, also Wilson Health, who remind you that they have carrying without limits, Precision Strip, NKT.TV, along with BowlerStore.com. Find the pocket without emptying yours. Carriage Works, specializing in collision repair in St. Henry. And here tonight, they need to specialize in how hard the balls are coming off these floors at Marion Local. Cy Schwederman, along with Fowler's TV, we service what we sell at Fowler's TV. Kogi Plumbing and Heating, a name you know and a name you trust. PSG Automotive Outfitters, along with the Minster Bank, who provide financial solutions for a lifetime. Hometown opportunity, connecting local companies with local talent. And also a big sponsor of tonight's game as the Flyers put it back in motion at 21-19. Bremen will come for it, and they will pull down the point. They've been very good this season coming out of timeouts. They take a 22-19 lead. They got the first point out of the first 2 timeouts in this set. Now trying to close out set 2. They were in a similar position in set 1. Marion local came back and got the last couple of points, but a misjudge of where the ball was going to be. I think that was to stay out of the net. And a 22-20 Flyers lead as they get the side out on the serve. Bremen on the return. Big smash, but long off the right hand of Taylor Paul. So the Flyers within one at 22-21. This is the exact same point we were in set number one at 22-21, but it was Marion Local with the advantage. Paul blocks it, now up at the net, just sort of free ball back across. The running right hand is long for Marion Local. And New Bremen, I want to say, survives on that point because that had every piece of momentum heading the other way. This is the first tie of this second set. The cross spin, I never noticed that until now, but it's effective. Just before the ball is put in play, watch the spin on this ball. There it is, that kind of that east-west spin, just enough to throw Marion Local off on the last point. Flyers now able to put it back in play on the return awkwardly, kind of off one foot is the return, and eventually down to the floor. It's 24, now 25-21 in favor of New Bremen. They take set number 2 and tie this contest at 1-1. Set 3 coming up when we come back here to Maria Stein.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
At CAPT, we use Hometown Opportunity to make sure that when we have a position open within the facility, it gets put on the website.
We've really been excited to see how that has grown so much over the last several years.
If anyone is looking for a job, it's the best place to go.
We really want to do whatever we can to get folks that are from this community back to this area.
I would recommend any manufacturing company that they take a look at it. It's a very good benefit for companies at no cost.
Game 3 here at the hangar as Superhero Night continues in the back half. Everybody just goes to get popcorn, maybe take a break between sets. As long as these sets have been between these two and as good as they've been, it makes sense. Popcorn's very good here at Marion Local, just so you know. I rate it very highly. Ball popped back up. Wow, these are way up. And on the cross-court shot, Claire Pape in for the kill. So 1-0 New Bremen. It has been that way all 3 sets now. First of which went 25-23 to Marion Local. Second set went 25-21 to New Bremen. And the servicers continue to follow around both teams. Rachel Kramer into the net. So we're tied at 1 like we were in set 1. That one had a ton of ties. There was just one tie in set 2. That was at 22s. The ball back up the net comes over on the New Bremen side. They had to scramble, and the block and the point down puts the Cardinals back up on top by 1. They were able to just sort of regroup perfectly over on that left side of the net. Into the student section goes the return. Never makes it across the net. The Cardinals pick up another point. It's kind of that quickly. It's been the MO of both teams. They can jump on you and jump on you quickly. But when you've got two teams who are so adept at doing that, it makes them pretty evenly matched. And the errors, that ball, I don't know if Natalie Rethman lost it in the lights. It's a very bright gym. But just kind of one of those that she was never able to get a right hand on. And the point quickly up on the board at 4-1 for New Bremen. And right back up and down Carrie Fensenmeyer. Fensenmeyer with the point now. Gives the side out for the home team. Sometimes these girls move so quick it makes it hard to picture the numbers as they just fly by. The error on the return not high enough for Macy Putoff. So consecutive points now for Marion Local as they pull back within one. Up at the net, here comes the smash from the outside. Right back into the middle, Flyers do a good job. As another dink, that has worked so many times in that same spot. As we're tied at 4, Fensenmeyer with a terrific play. Realized she wasn't going to be able to beat the double block by going straight at it, so she kind of took the around the world approach to it. Tied now at 4, blocked by the Flyers. They get the point. As you get a look at the Winners Quality Meets replay, that's effective. Drops just inside the line where the two yellows meet on the intersection on top of the M. Off back up for New Bremen. Now Marion trying to get back to it. Out of the back row, set back up for New Bremen. Blocked at the net again. Marion able to keep it up in play, and a change of directions. Grace Kanapke off the lead from Caitlin Hardings with a terrific winner. That one's a shame we don't have the replay for, because where she stopped her feet on a dead sprint, Grace Kanapke went cross court where nobody was expecting that ball to go. Now it dinked up into the net, or the attempt for Claire Pape didn't hit it high enough. And Marion Local's got 3 straight points coming out of a 4-4 tie. Another big smash to the ball. I can hear it. Every time that happens, I can hear it in my headset. It is how hard these girls are hitting this ball. I joked earlier on about there not being an air in it. They have 3 or 4 different balls they rotate through play. I'm not sure any of those are going to survive if this goes 5 sets. Now up at the net, another block. You can hear that one as well ring through the hanger. Down to the floor, and Bremen does a terrific job of saving one. And they save it ultimately for a point to pull back within one. Either the Macho Man's here or the Kool-Aid Man just smashed through the wall, because all I can hear is, ooh yeah. And the ace, there's your ooh yeah if you're rooting for New Bremen. Outside 7-7. Already the 3rd tie of this 3rd set. Flyers at the net, both teams kind of up inside the net. I was waiting to see which way this was going to go. They will call that against Marion Local, and it'll give the Cardinals a point. Probably going to be some fans rooting for the home team that would argue that that's just as much the other way. I don't think that's an argument they're going to win. No attempt on the save there on that ball being able to be kept in play. So the Bremen now with back-to-back points to take their first set of leads since they led 4-1. 7-4, just inside again the back corner. That has been such a high percentage shot for these two teams so far through the first 2.5 sets. Kind of lure everybody up to the front. But unfortunately, fall another surface error. Natalie Rethman, who leads Marion Local in aces with 43. It's the error here. 10-8 New Bremen. Popped out of the back row. Now another run, just kept up high. Abby Tiemann puts it back in play. Terrific job here early in this set for both of the outside hitters. Carrie Fensenmeyer with another point. She goes from the dink on the left side to that powerful shot on the right side. Now 10-9, New Bremen. Up at the net, the double block, up and over top of it. Into the middle row, here comes that running floater. Not able to drop it in. I believe it is Caitlin Hardings. Now 11-9 is New Bremen's lead. And they've led coming out of that 7-7 third tie. And the kill attempt goes long off to the left side. Back-to-back points now for the visitors. Dug out by the Flyers. Very good in that aspect, and they hit just inside the line again. It says the official in the back to pull within 2. It's always a unique look when we're here at Marion Local with everybody leaving to go get popcorn, come back, walk right back up into your living room or on whatever device that you're watching this on. Long on the return. A handful of times through this first set have been both teams. I've said it's almost like selective brilliance. Both teams have had that where things will go their way and it just seems like they're going to roll. But then their opponent will come right back and get 1 or 2 or 4 like the last set. Double block at the net. Now New Bremen out of the middle row off the kill attempt. Grace Kanapke comes up with a point. Just beat the double block for a 4-point lead at 14-10. Cardinals loft one across. Back at the net. And it's a very different front line without Paige Jones, but a very effective front line. Still for New Bremen, it happens when you're tall. And into the net on the return. Now gives Marion Local the side out and the ball. I realized that I incorrectly, when talking about Paige Jones, called her Paige Toby earlier. I meant Paige Jones. You just have to watch the whole match to figure that out. Now 15-11, the Cardinals with the lead. But still starring at the University of Michigan, having a terrific freshman year. Ball popped into the lights. And again, that's the second time it happened in the first set to Marion Local as well, where a ball up in the lights kind of played sideways, and a timeout at 16-11 with the Cardinals in front here in set 3 on NKTelco Sports.
Trust us. NKTelco, a small town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us!
16-11 out of the timeout here in set number 3. Bremen on top. You see the nets hanging up top. This usually shouldn't be a problem unless you hit a ball into the stands. But the basketball nets hanging up into the ceiling at times have been hit and been under fire here tonight. It's caused a couple of odd points. It's out of the timeout. The point for Marion Local off the service error. Flyers trying to hang in there. Sets tied at 1 apiece. Back set across and a smash back into the net, blocked onto New Bremen's side. 16-13, it has been a New Bremen lead since 8-7. Pop back into the front row, blocked on the top just that we beat you to the punch sort of thing for New Bremen. They get to point 17 first, so the first 30 go into their favor. And I feel like a broken record, but a terrific point, a moment of brilliance, followed by a service error. Not trying to harp on a point, just stating a fact. Back set across, and wow, I'm not even quite sure how that one came off Claire Pape's hand, but she was able to get it up and across. Another ball headed back towards the lights, sent out by Partington for Marion local. Blocked the net again. Partington will come back, have to wait for it. Ran all the way over there for nothing. Teammates able to get it up for, and they double block at the net again. New Bremen comes right back and resets. The winner down the line for Claire Pape gives New Bremen point 18. We get the side out, and we'll take the services here. And it to Abby Teeman, the senior. Abby will put it in play now with a 4-point lead, trying to win this ever-important third set. Pop back at the net, set across by Abby, but the double hit gives Marion local the point instead. So does the Flyers hanging in there at 18-15. Set up again, cross court. Nice shot, take something off to it for Ashton Heitkamp. Heitkamp now will go back into the service with the long blonde hair. And a point just inside the back corner of that. I wanted to wait and see which way that went, but that's a terrific piece of placement for Marion local, and the Flyer fans approve, as they're within two now at 18-16 in striking distance. See if they can get within one here, and yes, they do. Right back down the middle goes the winner from Elena Pullman, the 5'10 sophomore. And it's an 18-17 lead into the timeout. Big thanks again to our sponsors helping us put these games together in the Minster Bank, where they provide you financial solutions for a lifetime. Also, Hometown Opportunity, connecting local talent companies with local talent. I swear, one time when I read that, I'll get it right. Schwederman Pharmacy. Pharmacy is located in Salina, Coldwater, Minster, New Bremen, St. Mary's, and Wapakoneta. Also to Knoxville Supply and Minster Dental Care. Our keys to the game today brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Our replays that you've seen brought to you by Winter Meats, who specialize in quality meats for 90 years. And our scoreboard brought to you by the First National Bank, where they remind you to think first. Unless you're in this game, then there's no time to think. 18-17 Marion local, and again, that reason is because these girls are putting these balls over fast and furious, just like all 9 of the movies. Pop back up and into the back row. Partington off balance, able to save one and keep it in play. The Flyers turn it into a tie. Another one of those terrific shots. Probably you practiced, but you don't know how it's going to work out. First tie since 7-7. Back across, and Bremen tried to take that advantage back. Partington on the pass up into the front row. And Bremen caught out of sorts. Send it back over to Partington again. Now on the dink into the corner, but not able to pull it enough right. For the Flyers, New Bremen takes the lead 19-18. They have been the first to 20 one out of the 2 times. Marion local did it 20-17 in set 1. New Bremen did it 20-18 in set 2. The first team to 20 has won each of the first 2 sets. Long free ball across as the Flyers keep it in action. Partington passes one up on the run. Sent back across to New Bremen. And fought off again. That ball hit off 2 different players. Lucky they didn't count that for 2 hits. And this is just a terrific piece of a rally. And the point ultimately on about 20 hits comes down for New Bremen. They take back-to-back points out of the 18-18 tie and are the first to 20. So a long roll of the ball. Proves for the Cardinals fruitful. They get the ace again. 21-18. Three-point lead here in set 3, tied at 1. See that information down there on the First National Bank scoreboard. Up and across, and another ball that just took flight. Ashton Heitkamp tried to go cross court and paint one inside the lines. Unfortunately, that's not how it worked. 21-19 at New Bremen now. At the net, the big smash. Try and try again. Second time around, Rachel Kramer able to do exactly what Heitkamp just failed at doing. Now 22-19. Long serve here in front of a packed night at the hangar. Season winding down. The draw for these two teams comes up on Sunday, and they both expect to have pretty good seeds. As Bremen with another point, now leading 23-19. Of course, two of the top 4 teams in Division 4. Somewhere Don Kemper is smiling, the head commissioner of the MAC. It is a 23-19 lead. We'll take a break here on NKTelco Sports.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Getting their last instructions out of the timeout. Talking to their coaches and Erica Schulze for Marion Local, the 5-time state champs, and the defending state champs in Division 4, and Coach Diana Kramer for New Bremen. We've got to see both teams previous to this, the last couple of years. Saw New Bremen and Audubon in the tournament last year. Just a dominating performance by the Cardinals. Saw Marion Local the last couple of years when they played Audubon Glandorf, one of the top teams in Division 3, a team that they just lost to on Saturday. Both have put up terrific seasons, ranked 2 and 3 in the state. Top of the net, and the missed time on the jump for Rachel Kramer gives Marion Local a point as they pull within 23-20. Both teams were close into the first 2 sets. It was 22-21 Marion Local in the first, and it was 22-all in the second. Each team took a set as a return long. Give Marion Local a now just 2-point disadvantage. Flyers waiting on the return, handcuffed on the return as well. So now it is New Bremen who is within 1 point of taking the all-important third set in a 2-1 lead. And Coach Kramer wearing out the path there on the sideline. Waits for the block at the net. Comes down for Marion Local. So just like the Bee Gees, they stay alive for now. 24-22. Kyle Cross popped out of the back row here for New Bremen. Done a nice job of setting this up, but Not able to get it across. He looked down for a split second. And I think when he come back to it, that ball is already into the net. 24-23 to Bremen. Marion Local, this would be huge for them in terms of the swing to be able to come back and get this, but that's not going to be the case. Up off the hands and the winner, 25-23 for New Bremen. They take a 2-1 set lead. Set number 4 is on its way when we return here to the hangar on NKTelco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
Set number 4 getting ready to get underway to Bremen with a 2-1 lead thanks to consecutive set wins in the second and third, 25-21, 25-23. That same 25-23 set score is what Marion Local took a 1-0 lead in set number 1 with. Blocked at the net. New Bremen has gotten the first point of all 3 of the sets. Action fast and furious again in set 4. Trying to keep that happening. Now as New Bremen down to the floor, maybe a sign for Marion Local as they take their first 1-0 lead. It was the Flyers who fought back to tie the first and the third set at 1. Second set they were down 6-0 before they took a timeout. Ball up off the ceiling. This time Flyers able to keep it in play. Seems to work better on that side of the floor. As blocked by Marion Local and off for point number 2. Say one thing for Marion Local, you can't really negate the height at times against New Bremen, but you can do it with timing. Timing is what New Bremen uses perfectly this time around. For Rachel Kramer to procure a serve for her team down 1. Long running jump serve and another smack up on top of the ball as the block at the net. Macy Putoff and Josie Reinhardt thrilled about it. They were both right up on that block. So the first tie of this set comes after the first 4 points. To see both coaches in different times at the shot. Not thrilled when they get something rolling and then have it stopped on service errors. Be willing to bet you talk to both of the coaches after this one's over, and that'll be one of the things that they will point at. Block to the net, comes down on the Marion side for a Bremen point. So the second tie through the first 6 points. And the high 5 substitutions. The ball just sailed to give Marion Local a point. So again, get tied and immediately have an error. The defensive swing, the dink across, trying to draw Marion Local out of position. New Bremen, thinking about New Knoxville and some things coming up, gets the points. But Bremen able to draw right back to even. third tie already. Important fourth set for the Flyers, down 2-1. Speaking of down the ball, just in front of two diving defenders. Puts the Bremen on top for the first time in this set at 5-4. Again, there's that little east-west spin of the ball right before it's put in play. It's worked for a couple of different points for the Cardinals. This one tipped by them, though, and ultimately a point and another tie. 5-5 now, 4 ties to the first 10 points. Bremen comes in at 18-2 on the year. Up and down for the point. Flyers pull ahead at 6-5, consecutive points for them. And it is just another thought of they're able to draw into Bremen out of position. Ball which was nearly an ace, nearly saved. But another point for the Flyers as they pull up 7-5. And they don't want to leave here with a 3-1 loss. Lost a year ago, 3-0. Another terrific play, fighting back is the Bremen. Hopefully history is wrong, that this is not a service error. That one well across the net, just kind of trying to buck the trend. And a shot just inside the back line again. These are high quality shots. And on the substitution, now 8-6 Marion local. As they get the side out and serve back. Put it across, out of the back row, on the high swing. Kramer will let it go through, and the return way long. The Bremen argued that it was tipped. It's not something they're going to win. So 9-6 in favor of the Flyers. And the ball into the bench. Just handcuffed Rachel Kramer again. Now a 10-6 lead for Marion local. This is their largest lead in a set since they led 7-4 in a set 3. Ball up into the net twice for Ashton Heitkamp. Had to come back and get it. Popped way back up. Heitkamp and crew now on the play, across and pushed into the back corner by Marion local. Up in the net comes Kramer, and another kill for her. The senior brings the lead down to 3. Rachel Kramer led her team in kills in their last matchup, a win against Lehman Catholic, 3-0 on Tuesday. 36 team kills, but it was spaced out where nobody outside of her had more than 5. It's just a terrific team effort to beat Lehman Catholic. And another ball, speaking of team efforts, Marion local able to play it from right to left quickly. As you get a look at the winner's quality meets replay from the truck. And actually, I didn't realize it went off Kramer's hand. Kind of redirected awkwardly for New Bremen. Now 11-7 Marion local. Ball hit back across and long. Cardinals just not able to find inside the lines like they have been the first 3 sets. And a 12-7 Marion local lead will cue a timeout. As we'll stay here. Again, tell you can watch all these games back on WOSN On Demand and on the NKTelco Sports Facebook page. Also at nktelco.net. One of 2 games going on right now that we are covering here today. The other going on with Anna as the Shelby County Athletic League getting ready to wrap up its season. Fort Loramie in action against Anna. Expected to be a pretty good one. It went to 5 sets the first time the 2 teams played earlier this season. As you get the round robin, everybody plays twice in the SCAL. The Flyers leading 12-7 here. into that timeout. And another point for Marion Local. As they've done, again, well this season coming out of timeouts. It's been about 50-50 here for both teams. When the other team has called a timeout, the first team seems to come up with the points. On the near side, the double block back off the shoulder on the return of Rethman. And they can't beat that double block set this time around. Marion Local with a 13-8 lead. Cardinals continue to pound the ball before they serve. Blocks the net, comes back. Again, that didn't exactly, I think, play how New Bremen was waiting for it. Taylor Paul had to make an odd decision on where to come out at it. 14-8 Marion Local. Long running jump serve right back down the middle. Cardinals do a good job of getting back over to it. It's Kramer again. Gets it off a hand on the opposite side for the point. 14-9 Flyers with the lead. Another long running jump serve right down the middle. Has the Flyers out of sorts. Three different players with the chasing. Kind of left that middle open. See if New Bremen can exploit that. They will get the point off the hands of Brooke Hoban on the block attempt. So 14-10 Marion Local. But 3 of the last 4 points and 4 of the last 6 have helped pull New Bremen to back within 14-10. Right back down the middle, popped out of the back row. Passed up across, blocked at the net by New Bremen. Flyers will reset and try it again. Passed all the way across and through the dive for a Flyer point. Just a terrific piece of work for Marion Local. So they've been able to kind of control the lanes right now. And a ball drops in for an ace. Basically Putoff did the I don't really believe that spin. But it'll go down in front of her anyways. So Marion Local came in 157 aces on the year. They've done nothing to hurt that number. Large swing off the attack from the right side. Fancy back over. Now New Bremen will set it back up. Hit it right back down the middle for the winner into the corner. That ball had some speed on it. You call it giddy up. Watch how quick this finds its way into the corner. Just painting the top half of that yellow line with that white and black volleyball. Flyers lead cut to 5. Set of the net, back across, blocked again. And New Bremen is fired up. As that is the hands of Claire Pape and also Macy Putoff that pull their team to within 16-12. And if you've been playing along at home, you know that it just seemed like a matter of time. I'm not picking on either one of the teams. I'm just saying there have been an unusual amount of service errors in this game, or in this entire match. Both teams have just been so amped up from how it's gone, as they've gotten a big play after big play, but right after that, it'll be a ball that'll just go as a mistake. Two teams ranked in the top 4 in the state in Division 4 in this week's polls. Not really accustomed to making a lot of those mistakes. Down the middle will come the Flyers, dink back across. New Bremen waiting for it. McDeemon sets up this time around. And down to the floor. That's another smart play by Marion Local. As they're just able to drop it inside, and it's Elena Pullman doing the work this time. 18-13 Flyers. don't know how they were able to save that one. Down to the floor again. How do you get your fingers underneath where some of these balls are dropping on the floor? A double hit. Gives the ball back to the Cardinals, down 18-14. That sort of roll in your hand back and forth. Creates there, you see that awkward spin, but it doesn't matter for Marion Local this time around as Caitlin Hardings spins one into the corner. Flyers take their lead up to 19-14. Again, they trailed 2-1. You see it there on the First National Bank scoreboard. I don't even know how to describe how that was saved. Ashton Heitkamp proves sometimes video does more than words. That's another attempt at one of those cross-court midline shots. Ball's awry. Marion Local takes back a 6-point lead. Now at 20-14. Flyers walked off like they were taking a timeout. Now they'll come back out on the serve, leading by 6, trying to keep it intact and get this match to even. Dinks back across. You see the Flyer fans in the near shot, not all that happy about how they felt that should have went. Point ultimately for New Bremen. They get the side out and trail 20-15. Popped up by the Flyers, back set across. And I think maybe double hit again. Just that little carry up and in. So 20-16. Marion Local has led since really coming out of the 5-5 tie. It was 5-4 the last time New Bremen led. They're trying to get close to that again as the ball better lucky than good. Macy Putoff is very good, but this time she's very lucky. That ball hits the top of the net and just enough to roll Marion Local out of the way for the point. This girl's playing a high-quality match right now. Dinked across, fought off by Natalie Rethman. Ultimately down to the floor for the Flyers. 21-17. Take a look at this replay. That's just Rethman staying with it and creating something for a teammate. So Marion continues to lead as the service error rears its ugly head again. 21-18. So off the side out, New Bremen is going to have an opportunity to get within a couple of points, get within striking distance. Nearly coming out with an ace again. Push into the back row. Send back across, dink to the net again. 3 players in front of you, try the dink. Up off the block, kept in play by Josie Reinhardt. Back across, and again, Reinhardt nearly got the point of the ball falling to the floor. The redirect of it, when it was able to be saved by Marion Local, ends up in the student section. Don't look now, here come the Cardinals at 21-19. Up at the net again. So a lot of this match has been played and decided on points within 3 or 4 feet of the net. Just a couple of dinks and a handful of attacks. Popped up into the front row now for Kelsey Caney. Sent back across on the dive, Macy Putoff again. Putoff has been a big part of this last handful of points for New Bremen. The no-look attack. Right back over top and redirected. That ball was sailing. I don't know that it would have made it out of bounds, but New Bremen wasn't going to risk it. Point for Marion Local. They now lead 22-19. 22-20. Again, if I don't have the stat in front of me, but at this point, I'd be willing to bet both teams are approaching double digits in terms of service errors, because they've just not been able to place these balls where they've wanted. They've shorted a handful of them nearly out of every rally. That's back across. You know that Coach Schultze from Marion Local thought that last point was coming down on her side. She had the fist pump and everything. Doesn't have the Tiger Woods red Sunday shirt, but her team within a point of being tied. 22-21 Flyers here on NKTelco Sports.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CEREC and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
22-21, Marion Local with the lead, clinging to that lead that they've held since coming out of a 5-5 tie. There were 4 ties in this set in the first 10 points. Once upon a time, it was 12-7 Marion Local. They came out of the timeout and put it to 13-7. They have done very well in the last 2 sets of doing just that. Third set, it was 18-17 going into a timeout. The Flyers scored, made it 18-18. Ran off a handful of points. The Bremen, though, came back to get the set in a 2-1 lead with a 25-23 third set win. Back to action now. The Flyers clinging to that lead. Nope, back to even. Or, excuse me, a 2-point lead. Thought it was going to go back to even. Thought New Bremen was going to have a chance to return that. Marion Local making me eat my words. So 23-21. Just one player on the left side. That's confidence that that ball's going to come right back to you. Smart scouting, I'm sure, as well for Coach Kramer's team. Up into the net. Everybody bails out to go try to save it. Set at the net here for the Flyers. Dinked across again. Bremen and Macy Putoff able to get to it. But a mistake. Mental mistakes late in sets. It's not usually helping you win those kind of sets. 24-21 Flyers as they look to take the first and the fourth set. Student section, now they've woken up from probably their Halloween candy wearing off. I just assumed they went trick-or-treating before this. They're back into it, 24-21. Flyers, terrific save. That might be one of the better saves, and that's saying something that we've had in this matchup. And down to the floor, the Cardinals don't even let that turn into a point. Had they done it, we'd be done here. 24-22. Again, Marion Local with the lead. The Cardinals with the serve on the side out. There's the Super Bowl Shark now making its first appearance in the Marion Local student section. If anybody actually remembers that, Google it. Dinked back across into the middle row, fought off by the Cardinals. Now they'll send the attack back the opposite way. No look across. Sometimes that works perfectly. Natalie Rethman able to just use it to keep it in play. And the Cardinals are now tied with the Flyers at 2 sets apiece. 25-22 for Marion Local. Set 5 on its way when we come back here on NKTelco Sports.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital. with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Set number 5 here at the hangar. Marion Locals won 10 of the last 14 between these two, but Bremen won last year. 4 of those 10 have gone to 5 sets. Flyers take the first point of set number 5. In the 4 previous times that each one of these teams have matched up that have gone 5 sets, this kind of seems apropos for the way this rivalry goes. Each team has taken 2. So about as even as you can get are the Flyers and the Cardinals, and they're now tied at 1-1. Well, I've got a quick second. I want to mention, too, something kind of neat for the Bremen. The FFA won championships at the World Dairy Expo in Wisconsin earlier on today. So shout out to those kids, because they're doing a terrific job out in the Cheese State, trying to get their schoolmates to get the win here, to stay up near the top and at pace with St. Henry in the MAC. They picked up 2 of the first 3 points and break the 1-1 tie. So now this is the first new Bremen lead since 5-4 in the previous set. Tied at 2, big shot just across the back line. Cardinals on top 3-1. Marion Local tried to pick one up in front of the capacity crowd. Comes Rachel Kramer. Kramer doing the services. Sent back across by the Flyers, this time in Brooke Homan. Now punched back across just inside the line. I've had a coach tell me that no-look shot only works once. You get the equality meets winners replay. You only need to work once here. Natalie Rethman, so good at that. Now a 3-2 new Bremen lead. Ball punched high in the air. Now the ball fought off. Comes Kramer again. Up at the net, off the run. Beautiful pass on the setup. Cardinals able to fight it off and push it just long. And again, you want to see emotion being worn on the sleeve. Just down there in the bottom in front of the bench, the young lady in the blue and the head coach, Erica Schulte, watch her hang on every single point right now. Tied at 3. Blocked at the net again. The double block has worked so well for both sides at times. Another ball that just came off the return for Marion Local awkwardly. 2 coaches with a terrific pedigree in this matchup. And Bremen with the lead back at 4-3. Marion Local unable to take their second lead of this 5th set. First to 15 is the way these are set up. Flyers fight off from one side to another, and again, just a little cut shot off the block. We're tied at 4s. So far, it's kind of got that mentality of the start of set number 1, where we had all the ties early on. Ball dug out, ultimately on both sides, dinked back across, up off the fingertips. Grace Kanapke doing work, for the Flyers. Marion Local back now in the lead. It's a long set back across, fought off just in front of the ceiling and above. On the infraction, we're tied now at 5. Again, kind of one of those things, waiting to see which way that was going to go. You can see by the reaction, people thought maybe you could make that case on both sides. Tied at 3s, 4s, and 5s here in set 5. Push back, another great dig out by the Cardinals. Set at the net and back across and out of position on the return. Flyers see the Cardinals pick up a point. So Bremen on top by 1, trying to extend their lead. So both teams get ready for the tournament draw on Sunday. And blocked down was a dejected Taylor Paul. Why not? 5th set, tied at 6. Nobody wants to lose, nobody wants to go home. So both sides have been packed here. Can't see it here on the near side behind just where the camera's located, but this entire section is packed as the point on the double hit goes to the Cardinals. Again, not trying to continue to make this a point, but both coaches, as detail-oriented as they are going to talk about the amount of errors and the amount of second chances and third chances at times that they've given the other team in this matchup. Expect high-quality ball when these two play each other, though. Dinked back across and fought off by Heitkamp for New Bremen. One comes down for Marion local. They get the side out, tied at 7 now as Aubrey Toby back in. 4th tie, nope, make a 5th tie through the first 14 points. I expect that this one was going to go that way, and as dejected as Ashton Heitkamp was a couple of minutes ago, that she couldn't save a point. She gets her team one here with a shot just inside the back left corner. And I know that New Bremen wants to get some points here, but I don't believe you're allowed to serve 2 volleyballs at one time to do so. So I'll throw out, I guess, the bad one. Cardinals will get the serve, see if this is in fact the ball they want. Up off a handful of players, back up out of the middle row. Set back across now for Marion local, and the off-balance shot. It's worked for a point a couple of times. Not here, as the Cardinals in their 3 front are able to get back to it. The turn of the hand for Rachel Kramer for the point. Separates the Cardinals out to a 2-point lead for the first time since 3-1. Long running jump serves for the Cardinals. Kind of the fashion for their handful of services. 89-7, waiting for it out of the back row, fought off by Taylor Paul. Ball keeps it in play long enough that the front line can go to work. Dinked across and a little step side for Rachel Kramer. And Marion with the double hit. Now a 3-point advantage at 10-7. And you wonder where the timeout is coming at. There's the timeout. Flyers down at 10-7, take the timeout. And again, don't forget you can watch all these games on WOSN and on demand on the NKTelco Sports Facebook page and at nktelco.net. And if this one ends the way it started, you're in for a heck of an ending, and there's a lot of other great games up there as well. Big thanks to all the folks for helping us sponsor these games as well. In Francis Furniture, also Wilson Health. To remind you, they have carrying without limits precision strip here at nkt.tv, also at bowlerstore.com. You find the pocket without emptying yours. Just some of the fine folks who will help us bring you these events. And we've got 2 very good matchups tonight, because we've got one more going on as well between Anna and Fort Loramie in Shelby County Athletic League action. Now the MAC not trying to go home. An argument of a couple of calls out of the back row for the Flyers. Both teams continue to play on, and it ends up awkwardly redirected into the front row to Bremen. Out of the timeout, gets the point. 11-7, the Cardinals on top in set 5. Flyers trying to find a way to get the side out and go to work with their own services. Set across into the back row, fought off, and passed up front by Taylor Paul. But another point ultimately off of Rachel Partington, the libero, who played so well in set 1. Gives the Cardinals a huge lead at 12-7. And another timeout for Marion Local. That is their second. So they will try to figure something out as we take a look at the other sponsors in these games. Carriage Works, who specialize in collision repair in St. Henry. Also Cy Schwieterman Incorporated. Fowler's TV. Fowler's TV, we service what we sell. Kogi Plumbing and Heating, a name you know and a name that you trust. PSG Automotive Outfitters. The Minster Bank, who provide financial solutions for a lifetime, along with Hometown Opportunity, where they connect local companies with local talent. Schwieterman Pharmacy. Pharmacy is located in Salina, Coldwater, Minster, New Bremen, St. Mary's, and Wapakoneta, along with the Knoxville Supply and Minster Dental Care. Well, floated over at 12-7 for New Bremen. They continue to serve. Well, not for long. Marion Local out of the timeout. The second time around, drops one in front of Macy Putoff. So they climb back into within, down just 4. And that is their first point since they tied this contest at 7-7. Looking to go on a similar run. The ball smashed across. Back set here and ultimately free balled back across by Natalie Rethman. Rethman's played a heck of a game, but this point just starts awkwardly. Brooke Holman had it come off sideways to her, hit it up in the shoulder, and her team was not able to recover after that. Everybody just kind of sprawled out. The lead back to 13-8, or back to 5 at 13-8. Is now up off the hands. Takes just that quickly, where you make one play that doesn't work. If you're Brooke Holman, you come right back, say forget about that. We've got other things to do. 13-9 off the side out. All sent over to New Bremen and blocked at the net. Back-to-back points for the Flyers as they now pull within 3 and they get into double digits in the race to 15. So it's a 2 or a 5-point game, depending on which side you want to look at it from. And a block at the net. Again, trying to soar up there is Josie Reinhardt, but she is turned away at the gates. 13-11 New Bremen. And a question of them taking a timeout, they will. So they will regroup. We talked earlier in our Keyhole Pizza Keys to the Game about disrupting the system. If you are New Bremen, they have done that at time. Serve reception errors have been a thing on the Keys to the Game for Marion Local. It was about making those work and making the serves be returned. Now, they have done that at times. Replays today brought to you by Winners Meats. Remind you, they've had quality meats for over 90 years. If it's not the same meat, I imagine not. It's quality, it can't be. Now the NKTelco player of the game awaits, but which side is it going to come from? 13-11 is the lead here. Bremen back on top, but right now it's just kind of a chess match back and forth. Marion Local's had an answer for this point at every turn, and they get the point. They now have reeled off 5 of the last 6 to pull within 13-12. Cardinals up just 1, nearly. Had that go down. There's a lot of argument from the gentleman across the way. And the student section hanging on every one of these shots blocked down, and we're tied. Why not? 6th tie of this 5th set. There have been about 20 of them overall. That's what you'd expect between two teams ranked in the top 4 in Division 4. And the winner up and down that quickly for New Bremen. Rachel Kramer hype. Now 14-13. New Bremen a point away as they are the first team to hit match point. And the serve is long. Tied at 14 because service error. So another tie. Now the first to 16. And a service error followed by service error. So the Bremen with their second opportunity now to close this one out. The crowd into it as it's just off the top half of the net. Waiting on the return. Put back up into the air by Kramer. Now a ball short. Heitkamp couldn't get it up and over. She will sub out as we're tied at 15s. So if you're gonna go out swinging, at least in this matchup, each team still with Coldwater left. And oh yeah, if you're New Bremen, you've got number 4 Fort Recovery at their house coming up as well. Copycats right now. Every time one team gives away a point one way, the other team seems to match it. New Bremen, third time now that they have had match point, leading at 16-15. Cardinals to go the length of the floor, trying to put it away. Passed up into the middle row, blocked by the Cardinals. Cardinals now will set it back up themselves, and off the hands, the winner, Ashton Heitkamp, with a 17-15 5th set win. New Bremen defeats Marion local 3-2. And you saw it here on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Our 1,500 square foot showroom and pro shop at bowlerstore.com is stocked with bowling balls, bags, shoes, accessories, and apparel. The pro shop is equipped with 2 drill presses, measuring devices, and bowling ball maintenance machines to keep your ball rolling great. We offer private lessons for individuals and groups. Moxie's Extra Pair inside bowlerstore.com is also available to rent for private events. Be sure to check out bowlerstore.com or visit our pro shop in Versailles, Ohio for all your bowling product needs.
Back to the hangar as we wrap up a 5-set win for New Bremen. They moved to 18-2 on the year, now 6-1 in the Midwest Athletic Conference. Marion local drops just their second game at home this year. They're 14-6 overall and 4-3 in the MAC. Set 1 went to the Flyers, 25-23. New Bremen came back to take set 2, 25-21. They ultimately went up 2-1 with a 25-23 set 3 win. Flyers came back 25-22 in set 4, so we're not going home yet. It's a short trip. 17-15 though, the first 30 points weren't enough. Cardinals take the last 2, and the matchup 3-2. The replays here. We've got a look at the player of the game for tonight. Blake Steiner, the libero for New Bremen, in the back half of these shots, did just a tremendous job of setting up the offense and facilitating the passing game for New Bremen, for Coach Diana Kramer. And for that reason, she is our NKTelco Sports Player of the Game for today. Big thanks to the sponsors for tonight's game in the Minster Bank, along with Schwieterman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Hometown Opportunity, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, NKTelco and NKT.TV, also thebowlerstore.com, and Carriage Works. Cy Schwieterman Incorporated and Fowler's TV, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, PSG Automotive Outfitters, and the First National Bank for bringing you today's coverage of this ball game between New Bremen and Marion Local. Big thanks to the guys in the truck and Isaac Sell, Ian Bullhammer, and Rodney Hardings. Also the cameraman in Luke Schwieterman. Mike Byrne. Have a great night from all of us here at NK Telco Sports.